Bitcoin dominance is accelerating in the broader crypto industry, with many predicting the speculative gambling frenzy of non-Bitcoin crypto is finally dying. Have we seen the last altcoin season? Today we dive into the extremely one-sided battle of Bitcoin versus crypto and look into why Bitcoin is leaving every other project in the dust. Plus, we reveal the shocking truth of the rampant fraud and grimy lobbying techniques of Ripple Labs and their crypto project that is perhaps the most sinister of all, XRP. Bitcoin has slowly been decoupling from the broader crypto industry over the last several years, but this decoupling has more recently accelerated, and that's caused many traders to begin to wonder if there will even be a quote-unquote altcoin season this cycle at all. The slow bleed of other crypto projects priced in Bitcoin has been well documented over the years, but many crypto traders saw this as normal market dynamics, as historically Bitcoin runs first, and then cools, and then alt season takes off. So many traders historically have tried to time the beginning of alt season by moving out of Bitcoin and into a basket of crypto altcoins to try to capture the upside before cycling profits back into Bitcoin. In theory, this sounds genius. You capture outsized gains in crypto pumps and then end up with more Bitcoin in the end. But in reality, this is rarely how it works out. Most traders will spend countless hours trading in and out of crypto projects, eyes peeled to charts, trying to stay on top of the latest trends and attempting to time the market, when 99.9999% of the time, they would have been better off just chilling and stacking Bitcoin. This reality is really starting to become clear, as this cycle might be the first one since the original 2017 ICO boom, where Bitcoin dominates the entire cycle and there is no alt season. There has never been a more clear delineation between Bitcoin and all other crypto coins. Serious investors with huge capital, and now even nation states, understand that Bitcoin is a legitimate asset without an issuer, and everything else is either gambling meme coins or deceptive marketing. Swan CEO Corey Clipson was on the Bitcoin Infinity podcast talking about this and the broader gambling culture.
Bitcoin has been separated from crypto in the minds of the market, the media, and most investors. Investors that actually have money, they see Bitcoin as like saving and investing, and then crypto is gambling. And so in just paying attention to like the media landscape, I've had enough bandwidth the last couple of years after startup mode to start paying attention to basketball again, which is awesome. But all of the advertisement is either crypto or sports gambling. And it's only those two things. And interestingly, I now have a whole different view of like sports media because I work in Bitcoin and observe this other thing called crypto and how they do things. And now I realize that almost all of sports is fueled by gambling. Almost exclusively. Like all the media content is not about, what's this interesting in-depth interview about this athlete as a person. No, it's like the injury report so that somebody can change their fantasy football lineup. It's all kind of just a regressive tax on people that are gambling to try to get 10x or 100x ahead on what they're gambling instead of putting a little bit away and saving for the long term. And that's what really is at play. It's basically saving versus gambling is Bitcoin versus crypto and sports gambling in Vegas and all of these things that go back millennia. This is not new. We saw people like playing dice in Rome, Well, I wasn't there, but I know they were playing, little gambling games and stuff. And it's just the education of the lower and middle classes that you have a way now to get ahead by just saving a little bit, whatever you can, and putting that into Bitcoin. I just hope more and more people realize that there is a way to save now that doesn't require being a hedge fund manager and that doesn't require permission to access. That's the main thing. Like anybody can do it. And that's never existed before.
So the vast majority of the hundreds of thousands of crypto coins out there are unapologetically gambling memes. And not unlike sports gambling, they're a symptom of people being desperate and left behind by our broken monetary system. But there are other crypto projects that are a lot more sinister. Take XRP, for example. XRP is currently the third largest crypto project by market cap next to Ethereum. Started in 2012 by Ripple Labs with 100 billion token pre-mine, where a staggering 50% of all XRP tokens were initially printed and held by Ripple. As the crypto market began to heat up in 2017, Ripple started to aggressively promote XRP as a solution to cross-border payments using funds acquired by dumping billions of XRP tokens on early retail investors. Since then, Ripple and founders Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen have been sued by the SEC for selling unregistered securities. They've cozied up to banks in an attempt to be the underpinning network for central bank digital currencies, which focus on increasing government control over our money. CBDCs, if you don't already know, are the exact antithesis of Bitcoin. They take the government-controlled money we already have today and add even tighter restrictions and power through programmability and censorship. Ripple's war against Bitcoin became blatantly clear in 2022 when Chris Larsen, Ripple's co-founder, funded Greenpeace with $5 million to launch an anti-Bitcoin campaign named Change the Code, Not the Climate. The blatant misleading campaign was an utter failure and just shined more light on the nuanced and positive reality of Bitcoin's impact on energy markets and the climate. Fast forward to 2025, and Ripple's latest scandal involves aggressive lobbying to undermine the proposed strategic Bitcoin reserve in the US. Prior to the Trump victory, Ripple, again through co-founder Chris Larsen, spent millions to attempt to influence politicians to push for CBDCs that could benefit their own technology stack. Now that the Trump administration has taken office and announced a crypto stockpile, as well as an all-out banning of the creation of CBDCs in the US, Ripple has pivoted to lobbying to have XRP added into the national crypto stockpile. Strike CEO Jack Mallers was on Natalie Brunell's podcast yesterday talking about the danger this poses to all Americans.
This is private lobbying acting as innovation, acting as a public good and service. But what is it? Ripple printed 100 billion XRP tokens, gave it to themselves, and the distribution to the people is by them selling it. People say, Michael Saylor's lobbying for Bitcoin. Why can't Ripple lobby for Ripple? Michael Saylor has bought $30 billion worth of Bitcoin. He thinks Bitcoin's a good idea for him, and he wants America to think the same. Ripple has never bought Ripple. They've only sold it. If XRP is so good, why don't you buy any? Why do you keep selling it? So this is a private corporation that's created money out of thin air, that biases themselves, that wants to burden the American public to promote their self-interest. It's the same as 1933. It's the same as 1971. It's the same as 2008, hidden as a public good that's riding the coattails of Bitcoin. And this is our opportunity through technological innovation, where Bitcoin's a public utility for us, and there's corporate lobbying that's trying to take that away and prioritize their interests.
The simple fact that Ripple can print their own XRP and controls the underlying protocol is the fundamental reason why XRP has little to no chance of ever being part of a national crypto stockpile. Jack then went on to explain why Bitcoin is the only one that makes any sense for any nation state to hold strategically.
Bitcoin's the only monetary unit in the history of our species that is literally fixed, finite. You cannot make more of it. If we wanted to find more gold, we can. If Apple wanted to make 8 billion iPhones for everyone in the world, they can. With more demand comes more supply. And so the really difficult thing as humans is, how can we engineer something that is fixed, finite? You can't make any more. And if we're able to do so, the main use case for it is making it money, because we all want to contribute value to those around us and make sure that no one can take it from us. And so when I see something like Ripple, this is a company that prints it at will and that allocates it to themselves. Everyone that owns Bitcoin has had to contribute time and energy to get it, whether it's just through mining, literally, or whether it's through doing real work in the real world and providing real value to people. Like Michael Saylor, in my opinion, has done some form of synthetic mining. That guy's contributed his whole life to building MicroStrategy, becoming an expert in his craft, understanding financial engineering. He's put in how many hours, do you think, to be the man he is today? And so the Bitcoin he's earned has been a lot of time and energy. Now, it's not Bitcoin mining time and energy, but it's still time and energy that the world can consume and value from him. Now, let's take Ripple, for example. When they printed 100 billion XRP and gave it to themselves, how much time and energy and value did they give to you and I? Zero.
Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that gets to the core of the issue and fixes our money from the foundation. Everything else is a symptom of our broken money. And as Bitcoin's increasing dominance makes clear, the age of crypto scams is inevitably coming to an end. So if you hold some XRP or Ethereum or any other basket of cryptos and are expecting the next big alt season to begin, you might just be left on the sidelines as Bitcoin fully decouples and leaves everything else in the dust. So join the revolution and help change the system from the foundation with Swan. Visit swan.com or download the app by searching Swan Bitcoin in the App Store. Swan has the fastest and easiest onboarding experience in the industry. You literally go from sign up to purchasing real Bitcoin within minutes. And if you already have a healthy stack of Bitcoin in self-custody and want to upgrade your security, then Swan Vault is for you. Swan Vault is a multi-signature custody solution where you can vastly improve your security from loss or theft without sacrificing sovereignty. Visit swan.com/vault to learn more. And a quick shout out to Mara, the largest publicly traded Bitcoin miner, for supporting this show and for helping make Bitcoin the world's most decentralized and secure monetary network. That's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like this video, share it with your crypto friends, and subscribe to the channel for more high signal Bitcoin content. Thanks for watching, and remember, TikTok next block.